Hey guys, I want to spend a few moments to go over what we need to do for our EC grades. I know this is not the first time you are having to do EC grades, but I want to make sure that as the EC department, we are doing the same thing across all areas and to ensure that all our students are getting the same treatment as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this spreadsheet with you. This is how I want you to record your grades. I'm going to also give you access to be able to edit on this spreadsheet as well. So I recorded this so that you can view it as many times as possible to make sure that you have a good understanding. So this spreadsheet here, I made this real quick just so that you can know how to make your final grades for your students, or how the final grades will be populated for the general ed teacher to put into PowerSchool. So I'm going to go through how you will utilize this spreadsheet. We'll utilize it for this marking period, and then we'll do it again for the third and fourth marking period as well. So I know some of these things are counterintuitive, but I'm going to spend some time just to make sure that we're on the same page. So as you can see down here at the bottom, you will see that there's a sixth, seventh, and eighth grade tab. Make sure you go to that tab that you are working with, or the group of students that you are working with, in order to complete this information. So for the time being, I'm going to stay on sixth grade. So this first part up here, you're going to put the student's last name and first name. So we will just say the student is, of course, me. Next, you will list the special ed teacher that will be responsible or has the student for these subjects. If you are like eighth grade, and I know there's two different special ed teachers, please put both of your names up there as well. So we'll just use the last name Knight. Okay. So I'm the special ed student. A special ed teacher is Knight. I'm going to look and see, does this student have reading, ELA services, and or math? For me, I actually get both of them. So I'm going to make sure that I check both of them. Next thing that you're going to do is you're going to start to fill out some information, and this spreadsheet will actually populate some things for you. Okay. So every time you see a number or a percentage, that means that there is a formula that is in there. It's also a cell that is protected, meaning that you will not be able to type in there. These other blank cells, you will be able to type in there. So what you're going to ask first, we're going to look at reading, go across this way. So all the ELA classrooms are set up to be 90 minutes. So that makes it a whole lot it's easier to figure out some things and calculate. So what you're going to do is look at their IEP and to determine how many minutes are they in the general ed setting. So let's do something very, very simple for right now. And let's say that I am in the general ed setting for 45 minutes. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to type in 45 minutes. As you notice, when I typed and moved my cursor, this number right here changed. Just to double check and make sure, as you can see right here, 45 minutes out of 90 minutes is 50%. So it automatically generates that for you, so you don't have to type in. What you're then going to do is talk with the general ed teacher and figure out what their final grade is right now in the general ed classroom. Please make sure that the teacher, the general ed teacher, is following accommodations, whether that be modified grading, modified assignments. They need to be following those accommodations in order to assist that student. So let's say something very simple. We'll say that this student in the general ed setting had a 70 as a final grade just in the general ed setting. Okay. As you see, as I click out of this cell, this number over here starts to change. Don't worry. After we fill out this entire row, that number will change again. Okay. So now you look to see how much time is spent in the special ed. If 45 minutes was spent in the general ed and there's only 90 minutes, there should be 45 minutes in the special ed setting as well. As you can see, that number changed. These two numbers right here should equal up to 100%. If not, then we need to figure out what's the issue. And then finally, you'll look and see in your grade book how much, what's the grade for that student from your end in the special ed setting, special ed set only. So let's do something very simple just to say, let's say that they made a 60% in your class. All right, so these are some very easy numbers here. So what this is saying is their general ed setting is 70, their overall average is a 70, 50% of the time they're with you. So their special ed, the general ed, The special ed grade was a 60. They spent 50% with you. So really what we should be able to do is take these percentages and these numbers right here to determine what the overall final grade. This is easy because it's 50-50 and you have a 70 and 60. Halfway in between a 70 and 60, of course, is a 65, which is what this grade right here is. So for my final grade to go in the grade book, and this is what you'll need to communicate to the regular ed or general ed teacher, is that in that grade book, they should have a 65. Okay, let's do one that is a little bit more difficult. So let's say that I'm looking at the math, still the same student, which is me, and I'm looking at what should their grade be, the final grade be for math. So for the general ed setting, they have, let's say, 60 minutes in the general ed setting. As you can see, that automatically populated to 67%. That's going to automatically round up to a whole number. It's really 66.66666, but it's going to round up to a whole number for you, okay? And in that general ed setting, they are right now making, let's say, 58, okay? So as you can see, this number over here changed. So if there are 60 minutes in the general ed setting and there's only 90 minutes in math total, then what you would do is, of course, they should only have 30 minutes left in the special ed setting that they're with you. And say in that special ed setting, they have a final grade of an 83. So as you can see here, this number right here is generated as a 66%. So their final grade is going to be a 66. Now, this does have it in decimals. So what I'll do is I'll move it over to a percent and I'll make it even easier for you so you can see there that their final grade should be a 66. As you can see, all these numbers are very different, but the grade is very similar to one another. So this spreadsheet will help you come up with the correct number and final grade so that we can communicate to families this is how it was worked out and how things were populated instead of coming up with different things for 6th and 7th and 8th grade. Once again, make sure that you have all of this spreadsheet filled out. Each special ed teacher will need to complete this spreadsheet. I've given you ample room here to have a number of students listed. Just keep in mind that anything that already has a percent or a number located in there, it means that those are protected cells that you will not be able to change. So go through this, work together, and please reference this video anytime you have any questions, and I'll be available if you need some assistance as well, along with Ms. Ward, Ms. Davis, and Ms. Smoot. Thank you.